Welcome back, my little cubs. Welcome back to my channel. Now I know I did promise that I was going to debunk Tony Blair's documentary, but every time I'm about to do it, something else happens in the political arena that I just feel I need to do a YouTube for instead. So I will do it, but until then I really want to speak on English identity. And the reason why I want to speak on English identity, because I think it is something that it gets attacked tremendously more than any other country. And so if you watch this video, I'm hoping what you get from it is the confidence to stand up tall and confident and straight and let people know the reasons why you are English, why they're not, and why there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Now, this little issue that keeps creeping up about English identity is something that has been creeping for so long, we're getting to a point of boiling point. And I just thought to myself, I am a person who just likes to speak up for what's right and what's true and what's just. And only recently I came across an interview with this lady who tried to have quite a competitive, heated debate on her being English or not. And her tone and mannerisms clearly showed that she was going to use intimidation of the colour of her skin without any words. So I'm a person, I never watch and read what people say. I always watch and read what they don't say. And you could feel it, the way she was standing, the way she was looking at him, that she was going to sit with her skin tone and thought, because I'm black, I'm going to use that power to manipulate him, to make him feel very uncomfortable with standing up for being English. And I could feel it. I could be wrong, but what I was looking at, I could sense it. And I've seen a lot of people of ethnic minority thinking they can do that, where they don't actually have to make any sense. What they can do is just stand in their colour, and because of history and guilt, it will make the English fall back and shrink. And we're at a point where the scales are so unbalanced. I'm here to unbalance them again by being half black and half white. What the woman done was a very tactical move, and it was wrong. And she also, I always call him the cheese man, he's the cheddar man, who they found out was from England, and apparently that's all been debunked. And he was never black anyway. So I wanted to kind of break it down because I wanted people to understand that, and I'm going to make this simple because I didn't want to make the video where I'm doing a deep dive in history, but just to make this really simple for anybody to understand, whether you're from England or you're not, that England really, it constitutes three different angles of Vikings, Anglo-Saxons and Celts. So when you're looking at those three main particular groups of people who created England and the language and the culture and everything else, you're looking at Scandinavia, Germany and Denmark. So these three countries are white countries. So anyone that is not white and wants to claim that they are English are just wrong. And because they're wrong, that doesn't now make you a racist. That doesn't make you a bad person or, you know, whatever they want to call you. These are just facts. These countries aren't from ethnic minority countries. It wasn't the Africans that come in. If it was, I would have agreed with this lady, but it wasn't. So we're just dealing with common sense, facts, no emotion, no manipulation. So when you understand where you're from, like myself, my mum is white, English. I know that my mum comes from Vikings, Celts, Anglo-Saxons. So I know that's what part I would be coming from, which is where I have the full conviction of saying, no, you're not. Just because you're born in a country and you know the language doesn't mean you're from there. Okay? So it's like a Chinese person living in Jamaica and they have a baby, they're both Chinese and they have a baby in Jamaica, doesn't now necessarily mean they're Jamaican. They're Chinese living in Jamaica. That doesn't mean because the baby was born in Jamaica, now the baby is Jamaican. The baby is still Chinese. It may speak Jamaican, it may understand Jamaica, its home and its identity might feel like it's from Jamaica, but it doesn't stop the fact that its blood is from China. And so for some reason, England gets so attacked, and I'm not completely sure why, but I'm sure it gets attacked because I see it every day. So for you, I want you to understand that the reason why I believe a lot of this is happening is mostly to do with ego. Because for a lot of people, they feel that because their ancestors helped build Great Britain, that it belongs to them automatically. And that's just not how it works. So if I have my own limited company and I get people in, whether I get them to volunteer or I make them build up my company, I still have ownership. It doesn't matter what happened in the interim of things, because you need to remember as well, when we look back at slavery, English people didn't go over to help America drag black people out as slaves. I've said it in other videos, the YouTube videos that I have. The white man bought slaves off of the black man, the black elites. So it was their own people that caused all of this. This has got nothing to do with the white people. And if the black people did not help build the country, they would have just got somebody else to do it. It wasn't that if the black people did not build the country would have never been built. They would have just got somebody else to do it. Because a lot of the English and the Americans taught the slaves skills. They had many skills, different tools to use, different techniques in building. It wasn't just them taking skills from these countries to build these countries. That's why you can see the difference between the buildings that you have in Africa or Jamaica and the buildings you have here, because they taught them different skills. So it's not a sense of guilt and that you have to listen to this and think, take it for gospel just in case you step on anybody's toes, because it didn't work like that. A lot of people that have come from different countries and are, you know, black, mostly black, but from different countries who aren't English, do feel that they are kind of owed some sort of recompense. But that's where that they are actually wrong, and they are building their ego up. It's all ego. The reason why I'm able to say that I am half English, which I think would technically, not 100% sure yet because it's on my mum's side, I would technically come under being British, because it's not on my dad's side. I'm quite comfortable with that. And if I'm wrong, I'm comfortable with that. If I am English, because my mum is English, I'm comfortable with that. And if I'm not, and I'm British, because my dad is not white, my dad is black, I'm also comfortable with that, because I don't get my identity from the country I'm born in. I just get my my self-esteem and who I am by doing the right thing. So my flesh and who I am from the outside has got nothing to do with any of this. I get my self-esteem from my values, and so I don't mind what bracket I'm put in. So I don't push for claiming that I have an identity that's not mine, because I just don't get my identity based on the five senses and what I can see, taste, smell, touch. I get it from integrity, respect, doing the right thing, and you know, being a Christian in a Christian country. So I don't get it from anything else. And if I'm not building things that my ancestors built many years ago, I'd feel embarrassed to even have that right. So for people to come out and try to gaslight the English and make them believe that because they speak the language and they were born here that they are English, that then means that anybody could be English, and that removes the English identity quite quickly. And that's what we're seeing, and that's why there's a lot of fear from the English, that they are kind of being disposed and being told you're nothing to nobody and we are so important and you must listen to us, and our what we believe about us is more important than yours, while they're sitting in your soil and sitting in your land. I get why it frustrates anyone. So summarising all of this, this is for people who really need to do their history, whether it's on slavery, whether it's on the history of England and who the English are, so before they come out with really bold claims that they are English when they're not. Because in other countries, you wouldn't get away with it. China, apparently, this is just hearsay, even if you've lived there and you can speak fluent Chinese, they still don't see you as Chinese. And so it should be. Because otherwise, borders start getting mixed, and you don't really want that. You want to keep things just easy. Stop complicating things and trying to be, you know, don't fix something that's not broken, because everybody's trying to be so edgy and different and unique and dynamic when it really doesn't need to be, because it's just confusing things. Black is black and white is white. Things are very black and white. There aren't many grey areas. It's only emotions that make you think there's grey areas. There isn't. If you're black, you're not English. If you're white and you're an Anglo-Saxon, you come from Viking blood, you come from Celtic blood, you're English. It might be a quarter, it might be half. It's an idea to keep the English. If you want the English bloodline to keep going, then you date another English person. You don't feel bad about that. A lot of people do that in royal families. A lot of black people would never date a white person because they want the black blood gene to keep going. They can do that, which means you can do that. No problem. If it's free for you to do, it's free for me to do. Slavery was a long time ago, had nothing to do with me. Let's move forward. All very simple, straight stuff. Everything that's going on politically is all emotion. It's emotion based. And when things are emotionally based, they don't make sense. My emotion is not in this debate. I'm using logic and common sense. And just a disclaimer, just because I am for patriotism and I'm for people whose country it is, they should be able to celebrate and have pride in it, as long as it's balanced and it's not with hatred, does not necessarily automatically make me right-winged and that now these are my people and I'm being used or anything like that. I'm neither left-winged nor right-winged. I'm a reformist. I'm a person that believes in doing the right thing. I don't like to be bracketed. It's just, I don't like being put in boxes, and I don't believe that everybody who are trying to help people of England can, and it's not fair to put us in boxes. That's just because so many people are so involved in identity politics and get their ego fulfillment from being called a black this or left-winged or right-winged. I don't do things like that. I don't get my identity from all of these labels. I just think this is the right thing to do, and I'll carry on doing it. And if you like my channel, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. I'll see you next video.
Do you want to know what it is?